Hello, and welcome back to Cardano Coin, where we bring you the most recent and intriguing ADA news. We're giving away 1,000 ADA to those who are watching. All you have to do is upvote, subscribe, comment Cardano is king, and watch the video to the end to be eligible. The winners will be picked next month and publicized on the community page of the channel. The hilarious and terrifying thing about cryptocurrency is this. Although the future remains unknown, investors continue to buy in order to avoid missing out in case this uncertainty is linked to realizing significant returns. Based on how the cryptocurrency market has operated since 2021, it seemed to admit that anything could occur during the next few years. At this point, we start to question why humans lack the ability to anticipate the future. Investors who had the wisdom to invest in Bitcoin early on and stick onto it are now tremendously wealthy. In recent years, the largest digital currency has performed fairly well, and as a result, many inexperienced investors who struck it lucky and invested at the perfect time became billionaires. Investors searched for alternate currencies to compete with the more numerous digital currencies that were flooding the market. Early investors' appearance now appears to be a facade. Everyone is searching for the next big cryptocurrency. But the price and daily technicals have always been the most important factors for the regular investor who lacks the funds to purchase low-cost currency. Nobody wants to look beyond or cling to a cryptocurrency's network properties as the main driver of investment. Like everyone says, in the present Cardano situation, if you can choose a cryptocurrency that stands out from the competition, you have chosen wisely. But ADA, does anyone still regard it as the top investment choice? Investors in cryptocurrencies are growing impatient with Cardano, which has never been flown to the moon like other cryptos and whose price is unaffected by vessel upgrades. Cardano is still one of the most reliable blockchain projects in the world, despite its upgrades being delayed. It is clearly clear that investors don't have high hopes for Cardano. The price of the coin will soar as a result of network potential and some unanticipated perks, according to Cardano enthusiasts. It is unnecessary to harbor doubts regarding the ecosystem's improved functionality, increased scalability, throughput capacity, and network speed. However, ADA holders are on the verge of quitting. Despite a significant volume reduction, Cardano's price is struggling mightily to hold above the 47 levels. Despite the fact that the price hasn't changed significantly in a month, up until the end of the year, a stable trend is projected. The price of ADA could increase dramatically, at least if market sentiment slightly improve. Midway through October, the ADA price started to rise somewhat and then began to climb steadily until its recent highs of about 65 cents. The bulls have maintained these levels and managed to avoid closing the mouth at 80 cents of what will happen to Cardano in the hazy future, since they have been losing momentum for several months. Using a variety of reports written by crypto specialists, let's get a glimpse of the future. Cryptocurrencies are anticipated to be adopted by institutions quickly, in addition to by regular investors quickly. Recent studies predict that by 2030, there will be 1 billion crypto users worldwide if current trends continue. As a result, allocations for cryptocurrencies will rise significantly. While some governments have outright prohibited cryptocurrency, others are seeking to create appropriate legislation to increase institutional investors' access to the asset class. Many U.S. governments are also developing their own cryptocurrencies in the form of C. The 1 billion threshold for Cs is primarily symbolic. And as people and institutions become more familiar or, ideally, comfortable with digital assets, the number of crypto users may increase dramatically in the years to come. The quantity of data and processes will therefore increase along with adoption and transaction volumes. This does look like a fantastic future after all. Additionally, the company's panel of fintech experts predicts that Bitcoin will conclude the year at roughly $21,300 rather than admitting that it would undergo significant price swings for the remainder of the year. This projection is considerably lower than prior reports, highlighting the panel's expectation that the coin will rise in value over time, albeit from a lower foundation. Clearly, this is not the stuff that investors' hopes and expectations were based on. However, given the strong bearish push, one might quickly accept it. Similarly, they have high expectations for the long-term value, anticipating that it will be close to $80,000 by 2025 and close to $270,000 by $20,000 by 2030. It's important to note that the Finders 2020 one survey predicted an even more promising future for ACID. The group anticipated that Bitcoin would end 2025 at roughly $206,351.20 and end 30 at $567,400. The CEO of EXMO, who is extremely optimistic that it will surpass $1 million by 2030, is among the 77% of respondents who still believe Bitcoin serves as a store of value. Long cry from their most recent study. Insofar as Bitcoin is concerned, the global capitalist crisis has not changed fundamentally. And while other financial assets will not rebound as quickly as Bitcoin, it is damaged in the short term. Additionally, investor Veronica Mikai said that Bitcoin will benefit from the attention of international regulators if it separates from the regular stock market, at which point it is more likely to move north. The promise of long-term investment is not obscured by the bear market or ongoing market volatility. Additionally, if the top cryptocurrency has a stellar performance plan, other coins will follow. Among the panelists, only 10 believe that now is the ideal time for investors to liquidate their holdings, while 46 think people should be more exposed. 44 are in favor of huddling. Everyone is talking about the future of cryptocurrencies, but if the right policies are not put in place, things might become rough. This explains why long-term investments are being given a lot of attention. The most frequent argument put out by our panelists for why they believe it is now a good time to buy Bitcoin is that rather than the cryptocurrency itself changing fundamentally, the present price slump is caused by macroeconomic reasons. There was a report. The majority of support experts affirmed that the merger will have a positive impact on the future performance of the Ethereum price. Additionally, it was thought to be unlikely that the market capitalization of Bitcoin would be surpassed. The value of Bitcoin will continue to outperform that of the majority of alternative currency. Today, a cautious investment can tell us a lot about how investors will do in the future. Currently, if you look at the Cardano chart, it has fluctuated over the previous few months within a pretty narrow range of 40 cents to 60 cents. Without a significant action on its part, the network might not produce a significant pop. In some ways, this could be advantageous from the start. Cardano was created for long-term investors, not for haphazard, short-term traders. All Cardano did over the previous 5 years was promote itself as a reliable blockchain project. And as a result of the recent upgrade, Cardano has been growing its developer community and becoming more popular as the global financial operating system. Cardano has partnered with organizations and developed space while championing environmental sustainability. With this, there are unmistakable signs that the network is prepared for significant rallies in the long run. These are probably places that Cardano investors have chosen to ignore. If you're hoping for an immediate price increase in ADA right now, your aspirations will likely be dashed. Frederick Gregory, CEO of the Cardano Foundation, has revealed the objectives the organization hopes to achieve by 2026. At least 50 banks are needed for Cardano to accept them as users of the ADA token. The objective of the company, according to Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson, is to assemble 1 billion consumers between 2025 and 2030. By 2025, at least 3 Fortune 500 organizations will also be using ADA. To carry out real-world missions, Cardano focuses on his 3-pillar philosophy of scalability, interoperability, interoperability, and sustainability. Power depth is given the substantial user base and community that the tortoise method has amassed over the previous 5 years, a factor that many pundits believe to be overvalued. Far products are being developed on it than on chains like Polkadot and Solana. But only time will tell, and its chances will speak for themselves. Although there has been a market fall, it feels like the gold rush days for cryptocurrency, which has been operating for nearly 13 years. How much more will the purchase of 4,600 Cardano ADA not turn out to be a mistake if it has a promising future? As hopeful investors pour in with hopes of striking it rich, they ought to respect its desire to alter the dynamics of growth. The longer the investment, the more difficult it is to foresee the results. Cardano, though, has a lot going for it. The future is undoubtedly here to stay, despite the uncertainty. Of course, let us know what you think about this meager payment in the comments area below. In the following video, we'll see you. Watch our earlier films to learn how Cardano was achieving his goal of being the Ethereum killer. But before that, be careful to always click the subscribe and notification buttons